It's a beautiful Saturday morning in the fabulous Florida Keys. I'm Gary McAdams with eXp Realty. We're going to have a little bit of a cold day today per Florida Keys standards. It's going to be in the mid-70s with a pretty heavy wind coming off the ocean. I went out a little after 5 to take my morning walk, got halfway down the driveway and turned right around and went back in and got my hoodie on. But I'll tolerate 75 and windy this weekend. A lot of Washington State is expecting up to 24 inches of snow. It's supposed to be in the low 30s in Detroit, and those people have to live in Detroit, and I live in Key West, so I'm okay with 75 and windy. This is my morning market MLS update video I do every day right about this same time. I report all the new listings in Key West and the lower Keys that have come on the market in the last 24 hours. If you watch this video every day, you will be ahead of most buyers. You'll know about every new listing from Big Pine Key down to Key West the same day the realtors find out about them. I find most buyers wait for a home to come on to Zillow or Redfin or Realtor.com or Trulia or any number of those hundreds of websites that claim they put the MLS out live. But a problem people face when they rely on those websites is by the time a lot of those websites put a home live online, it's been on the multiple listing service a couple days and all the good deals are already under contract. If you watch this video every day and you see something you like, call me immediately. I'll make an appointment for us to go see the home, or if you're not here locally in the Keys, I'll go look at it on your behalf. We can do a walk time video chat or a FaceTime phone call video. Then if you like what you see, you can write up an offer and we'll have you under contract on the home before most buyers ever even knew it was available for sale. You can also get a much more detailed description of these listings, including photos, if you follow my blog, keywestinvesting.com. I'll put that web address in the description down below. There's a lot more details on the homes in the blog, a lot more information, any unique features the home might have, things like room uses, room dimensions. There'll be photos of the inside of the home, photos of the outside of the home. If the home happens to be waterfront or happens to have a pool, there'll be photos of the water view, photos of the pool view. It's just a lot more information than I can cram into a quick couple-minute YouTube video. Again, that web address is keywestinvesting.com, and it's updated every day, including photographs from the Florida Keys multiple listing service. If you like this video and you want to see more so you'll stay current with what's being listed in the Florida Keys at what prices, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and as long as you're down there clicking that subscribe button, please click the thumbs up like button right next to it. I do a video just like this every morning, and then you'll be able to see all the new listings the day they come out and see how much they're being listed for. We have 8 new homes to talk about today, but before I tell you about the homes, the state of Florida's legal department has to butt in and make me cover the boring stuff. Unfortunately, we have way too many lawyers in the world. The information I'm about to give you comes directly from the Florida Keys multiple listing service. I'm not accepting any responsibility for any of these listings. I'm not claiming any of these listings to be my own listing. And I'm not accepting any responsibility if there's any inaccuracies in the information I give you. I'm simply reading it to you right from the Florida Keys multiple listing service. I will from time to time give my opinion on the home, or if I have any local knowledge or experience in being in the home, I will tell you about it. I mean, I've been in real estate for over 25 years in the Keys, and I've been a Key West resident for 33 years. So I have a pretty good knowledge of most of the neighborhoods, and a lot of the homes I've already been in. Some of them, we call them recycled. They've been sold 3 and 4 times since I started real estate. The first one we have is a condo on Symington Street. It's a great location. It's right about mid-Symington Street, so it would be in the quiet section. Very close if you want to go up to Upper Duval Street for the fine dining, the art galleries, the boutiques, the shopping. Symington Street's just one street from Duval Street. Go up and make a left and you're on Upper Duval. Then if you do want to partake in the nightlife, what we call the party zone, you just go to Duval and make a right. And you're also only about a 2 or 3 minute walk down to Sloppy Joe's, Hog's Breath, Rick's, Fat Tuesday, Hard Rock, all the bars and the nightlife. This one's a 3-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 2,160 square foot home. It has a nice in-ground pool in the backyard, and it also has, which is very important for any home this close to Duval Street, off-street parking. It's being offered at a rather strange price, but definitely a very good price, a very low price for the property. I'm guessing maybe the seller's superstitious that came up with the idea. It's $1,996,230. So roughly $2 million, give or take. And that's an excellent price for a home that size with parking and a pool that close to Duval Street. And also in Key West's Old Town neighborhood on Galveston Lane. Galveston Lane is one of those little small streets you'd never find. You'd drive by it a million times and not even know it's there. There's a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 526 square foot house. This one also has off-street parking, which is very important on the smaller lanes like Galveston Lane because there is no on-street parking there. The streets are too narrow to put a car even on one side and have safe passage for cars going by. This one's being offered at $719,000, which is a very good price for that location in Old Town. You've got all the privacy you could want. The tourists will never find your house when they're out sightseeing. And you can walk to Duval Street. $719,000 is a great buy there. Then on another small lane called Love Lane. If you're familiar with Old Town, Love Lane runs between Southern and Fleming Street. There's a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 1,420 square foot house. This one also has a very nice private pool in the backyard. And also, as I mentioned with Galveston, very important to the smaller lanes because there is no parking on the street in the small lanes. This house has off-street parking as well, which is a very important feature for the Old Town homes, especially on the small lanes. This one's being offered at $2,525,000, which is a great price for Love Lane. It runs between Southern and Fleming, which are two of the nicest streets we have in Old Town. So that's definitely a great buy. Then we go over to the Casa Marina area. The Casa Marina area is a very sought-after neighborhood. The lots of land tend to be a little bit bigger. The houses tend to be a little bit bigger. The houses in general are much nicer. The majority of the houses over there are multi-million-dollar homes. It's a quick walk to Higgs Beach and Rest Beach. You can walk to a couple nice restaurants. You get Louis' Backyard. You have Salute on the beach. The Casa Marina Resort that the neighborhood was named after has a nice high-end fine dining restaurant, and they also have a very casual pool restaurant right on the beach. This one's a 3-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 2,746 square foot house on Von Pfister Street. Von Pfister is one of the nicest streets in the Casa Marina area as well. So you have a high-end street in the high-end neighborhood, a large house. It's being offered at $3,295,000, which is a very good price for a house that size in the Casa Marina area. Then in the Key West Golf Club on Golf Club Drive, in a section of the golf club called the Sanctuary. I like the Key West Golf Club a lot. It's a gated community. They have a 24-hour manned gate to get in, and they're pretty strict about who they let in there unless you can verify that you do have reason to go in. They also have a 24-hour-a-day person either riding a golf cart or walking around the area, just keeping an eye on things, another security guard. There's 2 community pools on the golf course. The big pool is as nice as any high-end luxury private resort pool I've ever seen. It's like a tri-kidney shape. The only way I can really describe it is if you remember those fidget spinners that were the big kick all the kids had for a couple of years. They held them in between their 2 fingers and just spun it around in a circle and looked at it. The pool looks kind of like a fidget spinner the way it's shaped. It has a deep end. It has a shallow end. It has plenty of seating. They have seating with tables in the shade if you want to have lunch by the pool. They have seating with tables in the sun. They have lounge chairs to lay out in the shade and in the sun. There's plenty of room to sit, plenty of space for everybody. It's a very large pool. They have a beautiful waterfall filtration system. Then they also have the smaller pool, which is the one I personally prefer only because it's hardly ever anybody there. I'm usually the only one there. It's just a basic rectangular pool, but it's large by Key West standards. It's probably 20 to 25 feet long by about 12 feet wide. It's about 4 feet deep the whole way. Very nice community. The golf course also has a fitness center, and they have community meeting rooms that you can reserve. This one is in the sanctuary, which is a second gate inside the golf course. So you're in a gated community inside a gated community. The sanctuary is the only part of the golf club that has their own deeded private parking, which is a very good feature. The parking is right in your yard. It's a covered carport. It's not a garage, but it does have a roof like a garage does, keeping your car out of the sun. The sanctuary homes also have their own private pool as well as the two pools I just described. This particular unit has a great golf course view. You can sit in the pool in the backyard and look at the golf course, or sit on your balcony or your deck and look at the golf course. This is a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 1,600 square foot home. I really like this particular floor model. There's probably only about 7 or 8 floor models in the golf club, and after 25 years of real estate, I've been in them all. What I like about this one is it has a bedroom and full bathroom downstairs, and 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms upstairs. It's the perfect house if you have a lot of company. You can give your company their own private bedroom and bathroom downstairs, and you have your privacy upstairs. That way you can spend the day with your friends or family members, have dinner with them, hang out with them all day, but when it's time to go to bed, you don't really want them hanging around, so they have their privacy, you have your privacy. It's also a great home for families with adult children. You want to give the children a little bit of room, you want to give them some freedom, but you still want them under mom and dad's thumb. It's great that way, and they make excellent rental units in a roommate situation. One roommate has the bottom floor and their own private bathroom, bedroom. The other roommates have the upstairs. This one's being offered at $1,399,000, which is an excellent buy. I don't know if you watch my videos regularly. A couple of days ago, we had this exact identical home, identical floor plan, but the lot was not on as nice of a location, and it was listed at $1,599,000, just to give you a price reference. This is an excellent buy. Then we go to Key West's Newtown neighborhood on Harriet Ave. This is an area the locals have nicknamed Smurf Village because the houses look kind of like the houses in the cartoon The Smurfs from back in the 80s. This one is a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom, 1,032 square foot. It is deeded as a single-family home. It is called a single-family home by the Monroe County Property Appraiser and the tax record. However, the buildings are a quadplex. There's 4 individual single-family deeded homes in one building. You share one common roof. You share a common wall with 2 units on either side of you. The thing I don't like about it, I stay away from Smurf Village. I always tell my buyers stay away from Smurf Village. My main reason for that is you have the 4-plex per se, but there's no governing HOA documents. There's no rules as to who has to maintain the common areas. There's no rules as to if the roof leaks, who foots the bill for fixing the roof. If the building needs to be tented for termites, you need to leave your house for at least 2, usually 3 days when you're tenting for termites. If all 4 residents don't agree to leave, then you can't tent the building for termites. Sure, you can do the injection treatments, and they work just fine if you have a true single-family house where there's no one else sharing a wall or a roof with you. But if you just do an injection on your side and your neighbors don't, their termites are just going to come back over to your house after you inject. If the neighbors refuse to pay their fair share for the termite tenting, 1 or 2 residents might get paid for picking up the bill for the whole 4-unit building. If the roof over 1 unit leaks and needs repair, it's going to affect the entire building. It's going to get in the wood joists, and the water rot just travels. So if all 4 people aren't willing to pitch in their fair share to replace the roof, 1, maybe 2 people might get stuck with the bill for the whole roof, or they risk getting water damage in their home, even though it's their neighbor's side that's leaking. It sounds all great to have a house in Key West for $589,000, but it's one of those cases where you get what you pay for. For me, it's just a legal nightmare waiting to happen. I've always told my buyers stay away from Smurf Village. I have sold a couple of them over there where the buyer absolutely insisted, and A lot of people have lived over there and it's worked out great for them. You might have a great experience over there, but I've just heard too many bad experiences, and I can't in good conscience advise someone to invest your money in a building like that. Then we go up to Cudjoe Key on Spanish Main Drive to an area called Venture Out. Venture Out is a very unique property. The biggest feature of Venture Out is you can rent the homes in one-day intervals, just like a hotel. Unincorporated Monroe County, which is all of the lower keys outside of Key West, has a 28-day minimum rental period by law, and Key West has a 30-day minimum rental period by law if you don't have what they call a transient license. Venture Out has a transient license. It's a gated community. It's a mobile home community. They have a 24-hour manned gate, and I really think it's more difficult to get into that gate than it is to get into the White House. You have to definitely prove you have reason to be there. They also have one, sometimes two security guards walking or riding around the property in a golf cart. They have a storage lot across the street. If you come down and trailer your boat down, where you can keep your boat trailers or larger vehicles that won't fit in the parking spots. The parking spaces at the individual properties that Venture Out tend to be small. Even getting a large SUV like an Escalade or a Hummer or a Suburban might be difficult in Venture Out, but they have plenty of parking across the street. They have their own lot. The complex has a full-service marina, ship store, fuel dock, bait and tackle store. They sell soft drinks, beer, wine, snacks and goodies, sunblock, fishing gear. Pretty much everything you'd need for a day out on the water. The canal system leads right out into the open channel. There's very good deep water boating. There's a tennis court on the property. There's a full-size basketball court on the property. There's pickleball courts on the property. Shuffleboard courts on the property. That great marina on the property. All that being said, people tend to either really love Venture Out or really dislike Venture Out. I fall under the latter. The main attraction of Venture Out and why most people buy it is for the rental investment income properties. I've ran the numbers on at least 15 of them, and I've come up with the exact same number right on every single one of them. Usually your net return, your gross ROI is usually about 4.5%, 4 to 4.5%. By the time you pay all your bills, your actual true cash on cash net ROI, you pay 20% on average management fees, then you pay the Venture Out HOA fee, then you pay your taxes, then you pay your insurance, and you want to have heavy homeowners liability insurance when you have renters. Just base all your insurance on my drunk tenant's going to fall down and break his arm. Then by the time you pay your maintenance fees, wear and tear on the building, your cleaning fees, you got to allow a little bit of loss for vacancy. You're not going to have it rented 365 days a year. All the units I've run the numbers on are getting anywhere from 2.25% to 3% net cash on cash ROI. If you put $500,000 or $1 million into a reputable bank in a 10-year CD, they're going to give you that same return. And you don't run the risk of a hurricane. You don't run the risk of tenants trashing your CD account. You don't run the risk of vacancy in your CD account. I just don't see the numbers in Venture Out. Especially this particular unit. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 640 square foot. It is right on the open water with a beautiful view. They're calling it a manufactured home. Venture Out is all a mobile home community. The manufactured homes are just a mobile home on stilts, and they didn't put the axles on it. To call it a mobile home by Florida standards, it has to still have the axles on it. Otherwise, it's a manufactured home, but it's the exact same style property built the exact same way. They're asking $1,050,000. That's over $1 million for a mobile home. I don't see the number there, but that's just my opinion. Then on Big Pine Key in a subdivision called Doctor's Arm. I actually lived in Doctor's Arm for about 5 years when I first moved to the Keys in 1991. I really like Doctor's Arm a lot. It's a great subdivision, very quiet, excellent boating, only about a 5-minute ride to the main US 1 if you want to go into Key West or up to Marathon for the day. There's the No Name Pub right up the street pretty well in the subdivision, which is an excellent restaurant. Very quiet neighborhood, mostly year-round residents. All the neighbors really look out for each other, keep an eye on each other. This one's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,045 square foot canal front house on Bailey's Lane. Very deep water boating in Doctor's Arm. You could get a 30, 35-foot boat in and out of there easily, which is bigger than most people in the Keys want to have. This one's also on a double lot. It's on a 10,000 square foot lot, which that means it gives you 100 foot of canal front. That's a lot of room to walk to dock. Boy, that was a tongue twister. My throat's getting dry. I need my tea, even though we're almost done. This is our last one. 100 foot of canal front. You can dock several boats there. Nice neighborhood. This one is being offered at $945,000, which is an excellent price for a house that big on that much land on the canal in Big Pine. And that's all we have for today. If you want to take a look at any of these homes or any home anywhere in the Florida Keys, give me a call at 305-731-0501. And don't forget to check out my blog, keywestinvesting.com. I'm Gary McAdams with eXp Realty.